I once read a sign that said, if you want to be healthy, stay away from red meat. I was hella hurt. Dismayed, if you will. I was like, no way you can just classify all red meat as unhealthy. I've been eating beef since...
Wait, is beef red meat?
This was back when I didn't even know if beef was red meat. I had an inkling though. I didn't believe all red meat was unhealthy. I didn't subscribe to that notion. I believed that something we were doing to the beef made it unhealthy. Here I am years later with arguably the most eaten beef of all time, and the truth. For this ingredient by ingredient, we started by looking at the bun of the Big Mac, but now we're moving on to the next ingredient, the beef patty. I know y'all ain't think I was gonna scrutinize the Big Mac without actually having a Big Mac.
I just need the Big Mac and no fries, no drink, just a sandwich.
Cha-ching, boy. I'm not eating this. 100% beef. Oh, sorry. 100% pure USDA inspected beef. My apologies. No, I'm kidding. No fillers, no extenders. Members of the audience, I have a question. Is our greatest concern is that the beef we're being fed isn't 100% beef? Hold on to that for later. As convoluted and as contradictory as the beef topic is, I'm gonna do us both a favor. There is one very simple concept when it comes to talking about beef. Quality. You are what you eat. Why do people say that? Because once we swallow anything, our body does something freaking remarkable. The food travels to our intestines, and our intestines take what we ate from the outside world and attempts to turn it into us. And it is incredibly good at it. Virtually all nutrients we eat are brought into the body. Our body is made of what we eat. Hey, voiceover Johnny here. Just real quick, it seems as if my man was in a rush. I just want to cover a part that he kind of missed out. If we are what we eat, then we are also what our cows eat. Because the same goes for cows. They are what they eat and we eat them. Just want to throw that in there. Voiceover Johnny out. Why does this matter? This is where the conversation of quality starts. Before the 1940s, we ate cattle that grazed the land and ate grass at their own freedom. During the 1950s, conditions for our cattle changed dramatically. The feedlot era began as cows were raised in confinement and fed defined feeds that are formulated to increase growth rates and feed conversion efficiencies. In other words, fattened up so we can make more industry money.
So you can make me more money. Patties.
In the feedlots, the cattle are being fed mixed rations that are high in grain, which is widely known to fatten cattle much quicker than grass, their natural food. Besides the cheap grain, these piles of feed are made of animal waste, rendered animal parts, restaurant food leftovers, straight up candy.
Began to buy secondhand candy.
It has a higher ratio of fat than actually feeding straight corn. Lots of happy cattle.
And human byproducts, according to this pamphlet the FDA made for kids. Dang, Johnny, all of this nonsense in the feed, doesn't it make our cows sick? Yes, it does, but we got that covered for the most part too, as antibiotics are given to the cows to help prevent disease. But Johnny, how can you prove that the beef that's on the Big Mac is made from cows in these conditions? Grass-fed is a touted selling point for anybody selling beef, so include it on a label is a no-brainer. Other than that, and the fact that their sandwiches are inexpensive, I can't prove anything. But even if we're choosing to be speculative alone, we're looking at a huge corporation feeding tons of people cheap fast food by the minute. Do we think their cows are free roaming, eating whatever grass they like? Or do we think they are violated and stressed out from eating literally everything in a dark, compacted space? The research I do isn't a one-off kind of thing, you know? I'm not a Google researcher that just spits out the regurgitated pseudoscience of an online article that pops up as the first result, listing its top 7 reasons. Everything I speak of has been researched diligently because I want to understand this stuff to a degree to where I can teach it effectively. With that, it might take me days or hours to really understand some of the mechanisms behind these topics, but you know, so be it, because what I present must be able to stand under scientific scrutiny. With that being said, I ain't on these farms. I couldn't tell you how much manure is in these feeds, or if the chief head lead farmer is a dollar-hungry master of livestock or someone with integrity. I couldn't tell you. But what I can tell you is that this grain-fed beef is almost an entirely different food when compared to grass-fed when we look at their nutrition profiles. Remember the omega-6 and omega-3 fats we were talking about in part 1 when we were talking about the bun? Well, they're back. If there's an imbalance of proportionally higher omega-6 to omega-3 fats, then we're talking
disease.
Inflammation, oxidation, cardiovascular disease, heart disease, the list goes on. Grass-fed beef doesn't necessarily have less omega-6 than grain-fed, but it has substantially more omega-3. The average ratio being for every 1 omega-3 in grass-fed, there are 1.5 omega-6. For every omega-3 in grain-fed, there are 7.6 omega-6. Vitamin A, critical vitamin needed for normal vision, bone growth, reproduction, cell division, and cell differentiation, foundation is made from beta carotene, which is presented 7-fold higher in grass-fed beef than grain-fed beef. Here's another one. Too much free radical action is an underlier for cancer and cardiovascular disease. Vitamin E, an antioxidant protecting from free radicals, is found in significantly higher amounts in grass-fed beef. We're talking threefold. Glutathione, a protein known for directly fighting free radicals. It protects our DNA and is also found in significantly higher amounts in grass-fed beef. This is what I meant by quality. There's levels to this. Every single piece of beef that we bite off falls somewhere on the spectrum of quality, from low to high. So back to the question, is our greatest concern really how much of this patty is actually beef? No, but that's what they're showing us because they want that to be the focus versus the fact that it's just low quality beef. Imagine one of those shady trench coat guys, you know, opening up the trench coat, he got the tickets in the pocket, tickets to the NBA game. He's not gonna tell you that those are low quality seats up in the nosebleeds. He doesn't want you to focus on that. They're just tickets, 100% tickets. I'm moving on to the next ingredient.